Hey guys, today I'm finally going to give you a tutorial on a really easy look with the JUVIA'S Nubian Palette. I also threw in that maroon lip just for fun. You don't have to obviously, but here we go. So as usual, I'm setting my concealer with a creamy beige base, and today I'm going to tape off the edge of my eyeball. We're going to start with that brown color I just pointed to, and I'm just starting along the edge of that tape with that Morphe E17 brush, building up into my crease with less product, just sweeping into my inner corner a little bit, just to also be like the transition shade. Killing two birds with one stone here. So I'm just going to keep building that up pretty much until I pick up this Morphe M19 blending brush to blend. I just picked up that orangey shade from the palette, and I'm just pulling it in a bit closer to my eye, not as close to the tape, but doing the same shape. I'm gonna blend that in just with light pressure. Picking up this brown, and I'm going to go against that tape once again, and kind of like a cat eye almost, starting out with that sort of shape and then blending it up into my crease, but not as far in as the last two colors, just to create some sort of shape and depth. Gonna blend, picking up this gold with a VASANTI eyeshadow 2 brush that I got in my Ipsy bag a couple months ago, and I'm just pulling that in with this brush. These shadows are so pigmented, I really don't need to wet my brush if I don't want to. It's amazing. These palettes are amazing. I'm gonna blend the top of that and the edge into the browns. Pulled off that tape, curling my eyelashes. Big surprise. Now I'm going to launch into my face real quick. I'm using the Maybelline FitMe and the CoverFX enhancer drops in Moonlight and mixing them. And I'm just blending this in with a Real Techniques beauty sponge. And I put a lot of highlighter in it, but I just went with it. Try not to back down from too much highlighter, but it was a little much, to be real. So I'm just going everywhere, making sure to blend into the hairline and down the bridge of my nose, on the sides of my nose, closer to my eyeball. The Real Technique sponge is really a great substitute for the beauty blender if you don't want to spend 20 bucks on a sponge. And I believe it's like $5 or $6, maybe less than that even. It's just as good, honestly. I do really love my beauty blender, but I also truly enjoy the Real Technique sponge. So I'm just dabbing to make sure that's all the excess product is picked up and I don't have any buildup anywhere, and it's all evenly distributed. Maybelline Better Skin Concealer. I really like this formula. I think it's a good substitute for the Urban Decay Naked Concealer, but that's still one of my favorite concealers I've ever tried. Just at this time, I'm keeping it drugstore. Again, blending it out with my Real Techniques beauty sponge. Gonna go on my nose, and then on my forehead, and my chin, under my nostrils, blending out again with the same sponge. Please excuse me, I'm watching House while I was filming this, and I'm in deep with this show again. It's a problem. So that's why I keep looking over. It was a really intense episode. Alright, picking up my RCMA No Color Powder and setting that concealer. I like to set a bit more when I mix my foundation with a liquid highlighter, just because it makes my foundation a bit more, what's the word? Not as thick, so it tends to move a bit more, but I like the payoff with the dewiness, and so we work with it. This is my first time trying the Airspun Powder and using this ECOTOOLS blending brush. This brush is amazing, first of all, and I really enjoyed the powder. I didn't test the longevity very well when I did this look, but I will continue using it and keep y'all updated on how I feel about it. I'm just setting the rest of my face. Like I said, it's dewy. My favorite shade of bronzer ever is this CoverFX bronzer in SunTan. I'm using the Morphe E2 brush to warm up my face without it being too sharp of a contour, because that's not really what I'm going for today. Just going on my temples, across my forehead, cheekbones, under the jawline, down the neck a bit, and on the sides of my nose. And then I go across the tip of my nose just so it looks like I got kissed with the sun. This Wet n Wild Apricot in the Act blush with this Real Techniques blush brush. I really love this brush. It's like 2 swipes and you're done. Picking up Zuri from the JUVIA'S Masquerade palette. Gorgeous eyeshadow, gorgeous highlight. This is a Morphe M501 brush. It's such a great highlighter brush. One of my favorite ways to put on highlight. All the usual places, people. And I'm taking it to my inner corner, and I'm gonna put it on the my brow bone. There we go. That's the word. Now I'm gonna fill my brows with my favorite, the ColourPop Taupe eyebrow pencil. Just using short strokes to fill them in. It's just easier to control if you use lighter, shorter strokes. That way you can decide how bold you want that arch to be. This is a great product to work with because it will move easily. That's also kind of the con of it. It will move easily if you don't put like a brow gel over it. So I'm picking up that brown again, putting it on my lower lash line, smoking it up into the top. Bam, small mascara. That's the finished eye product. I'm putting on Plum Crazy from Gerard Cosmetics, and that concludes this look.